Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back after a week off. Hi, guys. Good to see you. We are getting to the end of our season, ready to take on that spring challenge in 2 weeks. So I hope you guys are excited. We have a wonderful show tonight. We have sports and wellness that are going to be on in a few minutes. But first, we want to get to announcements. Vicky, say hi.
Hi, guys.
I didn't even hear you. My goodness.
Well, you've muted me.
Did I mute you? I'm sorry. At least I get the last word in. That's Vicky, our producer, and my co-organizer for USA Fit Albuquerque. So, guys, let me just get to a couple of announcements. Number one, we are going to be meeting tomorrow, basically the same locations, but all the groups swap. Okay, so Coach Matt and his group, Jen. Um, Amanda, Joey, Steve, you guys are going to be at Boxing Bear. And myself, Coach Dan, Coach Ted, Janet, Kevin, and Gary. Coach Gary will be at Alameda. So, you guys, it's your long run. Listen, we're going to have more to say on this after the show, toward the end of the show, because we'll have some of our coaches come on and talk about number one, what you should be doing for tomorrow's run. It's probably your most important run before your event, and it should be your dress rehearsal. So we'll talk more about that. And number two, at the end of the show, we're going to talk about the race itself. So we'll give you all the information on the logistics. So right now, without further ado, Vicky, if you're ready, let's bring on Susan Nagel. Okay, yes. Okay, got that. Got that notice. So let's hit. Hi, Susan. This is Susan from our longtime partner at Sports and Wellness, you guys. Many of you are members already. And if you're not, I advise you to sign up because they have a wonderful deal for our group. It's Susan, I'll let you talk about that. And I'm sure there'll be more questions and answers. So, and Susan, you're at Midtown. Okay, that's good. That's where I go. Okay, so let's without further ado, Susan, I'm going to let you take it away. I'm going to get off the stream. Okay.
Great. Thanks, Bob. Hi, everybody. Hi, USA Fit group. I probably have not met most of you since we haven't had any live events since pre-COVID, and used to show up in the parking lots before and after your runs to meet with you in person. So I'm looking forward to get back to that, but this will certainly do for now. Thank you for having me. We just are so excited to be starting our third year with USA Fit partnership. And Bob and Vicky are great cheerleaders of the clubs, and we are great cheerleaders of your running group. So it's been a wonderful fit and great for the community. So I just wanted to talk to you about what we do have to offer at Sports and Wellness. So for those that are members, you know that you qualify for 50% off of your individual dues. So that's the first thing that we were able to negotiate, is that we give you half off of your membership dues, which would normally run 107. For USA Fit members, it's $53.50 a month. And the great thing about that is that it is a month to month, or just a very short 3-month commitment is our shortest term. So we get a lot of you either in the summer when it's too hot to run and you want to take advantage of cross training for pools. And then we get a lot of you that just join for the winter when it's too cold or too icy to be outdoors, and also like to take advantage of the saunas and steam rooms and such. So the great thing about Sports and Wellness is we have five locations in town, and your membership gives you access to all 5. They are very different inside, different amenities from racquetball to 16 tennis courts, indoor and outdoor heated pools. We have a great downtown club that is a mini version of all of our large clubs that kind of are on the outskirts. And the clubs are really nicely placed. I'm the general manager now at the Midtown location, which is Carlisle and I-40. For those of you who might know where Green Jeans, my favorite Santa Fe brew, is located. We're just across from Green Jeans at the Midtown location. We have our Paseo Coors Club, which for some of you on the west side has been a great Fit. And then our Heights clubs are Tramway and Montgomery, which is known as our tennis club. They have 16 courts, seasonal, or excuse me, year-round courts up there, tennis courts. And then our largest club, 120,000 square foot Del Norte, Big Beast, is located just north of Academy, for you runners that run Academy, just north of Academy on Wyoming and San Antonio. So, so certainly I just wanted to be here to answer any questions about what we do have to offer. Also give you my contact information for those that don't have it. I try to be present in your newsletters, your Facebook pages, but if there's any other venues that are great ways to communicate to you quickly, please let me know what those are. And you know, we'll get those set up for quick Q&A stuff, or to keep you updated on the promotions that we have running each month. So in addition to your rate, which is ongoing, you have that any month that you want to join. You also get whatever the promotion is for the month on top of that. So that's the big thing for April that I wanted to highlight, and I can either do that now, or I can just send it in an email to you what the April promotion will be. So for any of you after this that would like to either renew your membership or start a new membership, you'll also get the bonus promotion that we have for April.
Got a question for you, Susan, from Diane Werner, one of our runners.
Oh,
She said, yes, she sent you an email. I think she emailed you. She wanted to make sure you got that. She emailed you her membership card.
Yes, Diane, yes, I got the email, and yes, in fact, I can even confirm right now that the rate has been changed. So we officially got that done.
Oh, wow. That was fast, super fast. Now, I believe you have a promo isn't it this weekend for summer registration for summer camp?
Yeah, so great. So for those that have children or even grandchildren, neighbor children, Blast Camp is our summer program that we are running at 3 out of our 5 locations. Actually 4 out of our 5 locations. The Blast Summer Camp is wonderful for those active kiddos or kids that you want to get more active because they are on the go. They swim 2 hours a day at every club. So if that's appealing to you and you have kids that you know maybe missed out on rec swimming last summer, as most of our kids did because with COVID there wasn't any family or recreational swim, it is now a go that we can have family swim, rec swim at every club. So we're very excited about that. And of course, that'll be a great offering for camp. Tennis camps are really popular. We have a new tennis pro at High Point, which maybe that would be a great addition for a show in a few weeks. We'd love to highlight her. There's just tonight we have a racquetball tournament going on at Midtown. So summer's so much fun. And with our short-term memberships, we get a lot of seasonal joins. This is the time. For you guys specifically, what we're doing, if you join over the weekend, Bob, you guys get the opportunity to either get 3 free personal training sessions, complimentary if you join. So great rate, plus you get 3 personal training sessions, and those would be hour-long sessions at any club location. Or you get the opportunity to gift a free gym membership to anyone of your choosing for 3 months at no charge. So if you join with me by Sunday, you get your USA Fit rate, and you can gift a membership to anyone that you would like for 3 months. So that would be May, June, July, unrestricted membership at all clubs for the next 3 months.
Wow. Write that down, Vicki. That's a deal. You know what I do? So I'll see everybody tomorrow, and I'm going to remind them, because we do get traffic online right now, but we get the most traffic on the rebroadcast. So I remind everybody on the rebroadcast, because they may be busy with dinner or whatever, but they check up on the show, and then they'll inevitably ask me a lot of questions in the morning. So so that is a great one. So I want to get back to one more thing, because summer's getting here, or another thing, the pool, which I think you guys have the greatest pools. Like I enjoy the pool at Midtown, but the one over at High Point, that's maybe my favorite outdoor pool. What are the restrictions, or what has opened up specifically?
So are there, if I hit the share screen function, will it show my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great.
Let's try it out right now. Go ahead.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see if this will work here. Okay. Let's see.
You have three choices. Depending on what you're sharing.
Entire screen application window. Oh, okay. Let's
Try
see.
either one of them, any of them, until it comes up.
All right.
It'll come up on my end, and I'll put it on the broadcast.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, something came up, Vic.
Joined.
Just
What do
scroll down. We're going to put it on the screen right now. We see you. Oh,
Do you see?
there we go. There we
reservation
go.
system?
Can you see that, Susan?
Oh yeah. Okay. Can you see the reservation system?
Make us smaller. Let's make that a little bigger so they can see that. Oh, that's you. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I see outdoor pool
Perfect. Yep.
reservation. Yes.
So with COVID, of course, a lot of changes. This has been the best change that we've been able to implement for sports and wellness. We have what I think is the greatest reservation system for either lap swim or open swim. So for those of you that remember, the pre-COVID days when you had to come into the club in your suit and you got to the lane and there was nothing available, or you had to change share. No longer is that the case. So we have indoor and outdoor pools, up to 12 lanes available depending on club, for lap swimming from 5 a.m. until 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and from 8 p.m. until up to 8 p.m. depending on which club on the weekends. So at least 10 lap lanes available at any one time. And this reservation system is an app that you can have on your computer or your cell phone, which you can reserve a lane up to 48 hours in advance. So if you know at 5 p.m. on Friday night, you can see here, I want lap lane 6. You would literally be able to go from your app, smartphone or your desktop, select the reservation lane, show up 5 minutes till, get in your suit, and know that that lane is waiting for you for the next hour.
Oh, wow.
And so this has been something that the members have gone crazy over. They're just so thrilled. Even at 5 a.m., they know that if they show up at 5 a.m., they have that lane available for them. And we're really proud of it. It's been a great addition. It allows us to have open swim and lap swim consecutively. So you don't have to put the kids in the car and show up. I know I remember swimming when I was a little girl, and my parents would never get the open swim times right. So we'd show up, and we're ready. I have my rubber ducky, and I couldn't swim because it was lap swim only. Well, we are converting to open and lap swim consecutively throughout the day, so that there's an offering for both family and lap swimmers at the same time. Because our clubs are large, they have 2 pools outside of the midtown and downtown locations. So again, you have up to 12 lanes available at any time. High Point, as Bob mentions, is nestled in the foothills of Tramway. So we know we get a lot of runners who love to hit those back trails, and then they come down and jump in the pool right afterwards. That's very popular, and a beautiful morning for your Saturday. And so they have a dive tank available, which goes down to 10 feet. And so that's always open too. If you just want to, have a non-reserved option, you can just come in and jump in that dive tank. So
what location is that at, Susan?
That's at the High Point Club, Tramway in Montgomery.
I never knew that. How many times have I been going there? I never knew that. Oh my gosh.
So, sadly, we're still waiting for hot tub, sauna, steam, permissions, which of course are mandated by the governor, and
Right.
We'll keep you updated on those. We're anxiously awaiting that
Okay.
addition, but everything else is up and running, and we've had a great 11 months. We're just excited to be open.
Outstanding. Now, let me switch a little on the same thing, because this reservation system looks fantastic. What about the tennis? And I've taken advantage of the tennis courts over at High Point, either through the USTA League. We've had league matches there, but how does it? Well, number one, do you have league matches there now still?
Absolutely. Yeah.
They
So,
are?
can you see the tennis? Do you see
Yes.
the? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. So this was just this morning, actually. Taken. They did an event at the tennis courts, but yes, they're absolutely running the league matches. Tennis is full blown. We have Corley Cup, which is the Volvo Corley dealership in town is doing a summer partnership with High Point. So if you test drive a car, you get certain perks through Corley, which is very cool.
That is
So
pretty
yeah,
cool.
so and they've been running their tournaments. They have a youth one coming up actually in a few months that will be Tanawan and TCA and High Point. And again, with the addition of and I'm so sorry I don't have her name, but I'll get that information. Amy is her first name, of the new tennis. The new tennis
Head pro.
head coach. She's really going to revamp the program for the summer.
Outstanding. I'm excited about that. That's great. And then for general membership, to use any one of the facilities, do you still do a reservation kind of system to go, or
We do. It's interesting. I would say this is the one thing that will phase out probably pretty quickly. The reservation system for general usage, which would be cardio or your weight room, traditional weight room, that was a way for us to stay within the guidelines of what the governor was asking us. So at the beginning, we could only have 75, in the
Mhm.
club at a time, and then went to 25%, then 33. So yes, we still do require. We'd like you to select that general usage. So we have a great roster, which provides the state at any point in time a roster of individuals that are in the club at any time. And so that's been a great way for us to keep in compliance with what they were asking. So again, all of this can be done on your app. You can do general usage as you're walking in the door. So it's not something you would have to do 2 days ahead of time.
Mm.
You want to do 2 days ahead of time for things like maybe a tennis court or an pool lane at 5:30 p.m. let's say after school
How
or
about
after work.
how
Go
about
ahead.
the group fitness classes?
Yeah,
Go
group
back.
fitness classes, it just depends. So if I can forward here to our morning offerings for Saturday, and we can take a look kind of at those numbers depending on which club location and the time.
Mm.
Some of those, fill a day and ahead of
Yep.
time. But you can see I have, one spot open, 3, 10. So yeah, there's still plenty of time
I
to get
see.
that,
Yeah,
day
that's
up.
outstanding. You guys have adapted and adapted very well to the situation. So I commend you on that because people want to get moving if they haven't already. Being stuck inside for work or just it's been rough on people. So thank you
Right,
so much for that. Um,
absolutely.
so how about and I'm sorry I got your message that Jessica won't be able to join us
Yeah,
because she's in a personal train. Maybe there'll be other times. We'll have you on another time, especially if you have some kind of fancy promotion, whatever. That's wonderful. But tell us about yourself, how you've been, become the general manager and your background and
sure. So I actually grew up at Sports and Wellness. My parents still live around the corner from Midtown, so this is my home club. So
outstanding.
I started working for the club about 7 years ago in the membership office. I became membership director a few years later. Moved over to Del Norte, which I met quite a few of you over there for a few years, and then was promoted to the general manager in 2019. So nothing says, happy first GM spot like a pandemic a mere 4 months later.
Oh,
So talk about a learning curve. We've had to be very pivotal, which of course every company, every organization in the world certainly knows what that looks like now. But what an amazing ride. And I think the most important special thing to note, and you probably experience this with your running club, is the sense of community and how
yes.
important it is that you have that foundation. And we certainly realized that we did have that foundation, that the Midtown members especially, and the employees that were able to come back, we could only bring 10 employees back out of my 150 when we first opened the club on June 2nd of last year. So running a club in a pandemic with so many unknowns, the fear factor being incredibly high, of course, for gyms, across the world, there was a lot of contradictory opinions about whether
Mm,
gyms were safe. and how to overcome those things, you know. And so what a journey, and I couldn't have done it without the Midtown members, the community, and of course my employees. So I'm just very grateful again to be open, and we know so much the power of exercise, far more, you know, for even the physical, the mental attributes of all that we're going through. So we just want to continue to encourage and know that we are doing this safely. We do it every day.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations, Susan. Thank you so much for our partnership. It's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful ride, and I just see it growing and getting better and bigger. That's the one thing a lot. The majority of our members, they say, boy, that sports and wellness relationship has really helped them out, and they love it. And we've been getting new members too, and that's what we're trying to show them, introduce them to, like, hey, did you know that sports and wellness does this for us if you're a member of us? So we will continue that. It won't be the last we see you. It's wonderful. That is a wonderful partnership, and I look forward to getting out there and playing some tennis too.
Wonderful. Well, yes. I would say that's the next, whenever we want to regroup, we'll focus on tennis. We'll do live from Hive Point. And Jess is the personal training manager who actually works at High Point and Midtown. So if that's on your radar, if those are your two clubs, one of your two, just know whether you're an existing member or thinking of becoming a member, Jessica would be your go-to, and we would link you up for those PT sessions. So.
Oh, okay. And also, members that want to either, what do you call that? Re-up, or new members go through you though, or.
Please, yes, please go through me. So the best way, and they can do it over the phone, Bob. I know I would say probably over 70 or 80% either do email or phone. It takes about 5 minutes to sign up electronically. So I don't know if it's just best for me to shoot over the I don't know if you can see that, or I can.
Yeah, you can put that up, but we'll also put it up in our newsletter.
So email is great, or you can just call the Midtown Club and ask for Susan. And if you never step foot in Midtown, that's okay. I put your packet together at Midtown, activate your cards, make sure that you're getting the best joining offer, and then I will zip that over to whichever club location is best for you to pick them up. Sounds
great. Okay, well, that is wonderful, Susan. So thank you for being a guest on our show. And this is the perfect show, because this will be the last for our sponsors of this season, because we have our end of the season coming up in 2 weeks, and it'll just be the coaches. And then we're going to start up again, which I'm going to talk to the club about right now. So our next season starts up the end of May. So it's not that far off, and we're hoping to see a whole new group of influx of new members there too. And they'll be excited to learn more about sports and wellness. And Susan Nagel, thank you so much, Susan.
Have a good Friday night, guys.
Bye.
I'll see you later.
All righty. So listen up, guys. That was exciting. That was wonderful. I learned a lot more stuff. So you guys, that they have wonderful facilities there, but especially the pools, I should say, and the tennis courts. So I'm excited to hear that. And what was that, Vicky? That special she has. If you sign up,
join up by Sunday. Am I heard?
Let me see. Try it now.
If you join up by this Sunday, you get 3 free personal training sessions.
Okay.
Or you can get 3 free months of membership for a friend.
You
if
can
you
gift
get a
that.
friend to join.
If you get a friend to join, you can gift them free membership for 3 months. Your spouse or whatever. That sounds good to me.
But if you want to keep it all for yourself, you can get those 3 free personal training sessions.
So listen, you guys, tomorrow, hit me up on that. I'll explain it even better. I have to absorb it. We're taking notes here too. So we'll get that information for you. We'll put it in the newsletter. Now, speaking of which, I do have one of our coaches, but first I want to make a quick announcement, and then I'm going to give our head coach the proper introduction. Get ready our intro for Gary. But the first thing I think he's going to talk to you about, and I want to stress it, is tomorrow's run. Okay, you guys. So if you have missed some of it, tomorrow's the day you want to get ready for your race. I mean, and we'll talk about the race after that. But for now, let's give an intro to our head coach, Gary Schanzer. There he is. Hey, Gary.
Hey, Bob.
How are you? I saw you again. Gary cannot stand still. He has to go. Did you watch him?
Yeah.
While we're okay. The other thing, Gary, I got to say it. When you guys see Gary tomorrow, ask him about his car and get him to demonstrate how his roof goes back. It's just so space age. It's wonderful. But enough about that, Gary. Listen, it's really important what you have to say to them. And what I'd like to ask you, and I'm going to give you the full screen, is tell them about what they need to be preparing for, especially tomorrow's run. Okay, Gary.
Hey, guys. So tomorrow's run is pretty important for anybody, especially who's doing the race in 2 weeks. This is really our last chance to dress rehearse for the race itself, and it's important to do that. There's many parts to this, from pacing yourself right. I certainly hope that you've all practiced negative splits and running under control correctly through the season. I've had times in the past that the week before the race, somebody will come up to me and say, "So, what's this about negative splits?" And it's like, well, we talked about that 3 months ago. I thought you were practicing it, but apparently not. And by the way, if you haven't been doing it, then don't do it in the race. But I hope all of you running with your pace leaders have been practicing that, because it's really, really important. Again, I think the one thing that we as a club can offer our runners that they don't know, many, many, many runners in Albuquerque don't know how to do this right. We all laugh about it when we see somebody lining up for the Duke City Marathon, and they start out like they're running a 50-yard dash, and that lasts about 100 yards, and then they're done. So negative splits are really important to practice that. Hold them back early on, and then you'll have a lot of energy left for later in the run. And again, that's something you really should practice your last chance tomorrow for your longest run of the season. Of course, then there are other things we need to remember. It's really important to fuel yourself right, and I hope you've been practicing that for the season. Figuring out what you can eat, what you can drink, when you can do it. I hope that today you've been drinking a lot of water, getting yourself well hydrated. That's important. You want to do that the rest of the night until you go to bed, and then in the morning, you want to obviously be careful with that. You don't want to have to stop at every porta potty along the way. But you want to, again, I'm hoping that you've practiced that some, so you've figured out about when and what to drink. Eating is really important, eating carbohydrates. I hope, again, that maybe yesterday and today you beefed up your carbohydrate intake. We run on carbs, and if we don't have enough, if you've ever heard the term bonking, hitting the wall, people do that because they've run out of carbohydrates. And so the best thing you can do is beef that up the last couple days, eat a good carbohydrate meal in the morning, And again, I don't want to tell you what to eat because everybody's different, but I hope you've practiced some and you've figured out, no, this doesn't work well, but this does work well for me. The way you would know that is when you finish a longer run, do you still have energy to get you through to the finish? If you don't, you probably haven't eaten enough carbohydrate. On the other hand, if you're running along early in the run and you're having to stop at porta potties, you probably didn't eat correctly. You ate too much maybe, or there are things you want to avoid like fiber. For obvious reasons, we don't want to be eating fiber very close to the race. So again, those are things to practice. What else? Those are the main things, really. Again, I would get up tomorrow morning and eat what you plan to eat before the race. Oatmeal, peanut butter, and toast, a lot of things. And again, I don't want to suggest things because it might not work for you if you haven't practiced with it. But hopefully you know what does work for you.
Gary, what about good question I had, and you've taught us about this a lot during the race, especially like our half marathoners. Hopefully they've been practicing what's good for their stomach, but how to fuel and hydrate during the race is also a thing that they should know. If you want to give us some tips on that.
Yeah, actually, maybe I should ask you, Bob, about what we're going to do on race day as far as what are we putting out for the runners.
Okay, and we're going to get to that, but we can get to it right now. We are going to have a total of 3 aid stations, but you multiply that by 2, so it comes as for the half marathoners especially. So there'll be and at the aid stations we will have water. What help me out there, Vicky? Water, Gatorade, and goose. Unfortunately, goose. But some people might not like goose. I don't know, but that's what we have. Is it goose?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we have. So that's what we'll be putting out. And the aid stations will be at I like to call it the 2315. It's where that ditch. The first one is where that ditch crosses that little. Where the path crosses a ditch. It's about from Hispanic culture. Well, actually, from the start of the 5 and 10K, it's about a mile to that. From the half marathon, it's more like a mile and 3/4 from even 1.8 miles from the start of the half marathon. There'll be an aid station there. Then the next aid station will be at the 10K turnaround. Okay, so that's an interesting one. I'm going to talk to our volunteers about that tomorrow because the 10K turnaround is actually before Rio Bravo. So it'll be more of a mobile. We'll have a cart with 1 to 2 people to bring it to the turnaround, whereas the table itself will be at Rio Bravo for our half marathoners to not only give them hydration there, but to guide them around that path so that they don't go. It's just a quick little turn, but we want to get them on the path. Then for the half marathoners, the final aid station will be about 2 miles past there at the actual half marathon turnaround. I don't know if that's exactly right, but it'll be at the half marathon turnaround. There'll be a bona fide table there with the volunteers and all the same stuff too, and they'll also turn them around. So then they'll hit the Rio Bravo again on the way back, and they'll hit that other station again on the way back before Hispanic Cultural Center.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, that's great. But like typically tomorrow, and some people they may not wait till depending on how they've been training and practicing, they may have their own schedule for fueling and hydrating. But one good tip is like how to, if let's say I'm using Goo, Gary, what's the proper way if I'm going to do it on my, as part of my, say I do like every mile, or say I do every X amount of minutes, I'm going to like 45 minutes or something. What's the proper way?
Yeah, that's a good question. So first of all, for the shorter races, the 5K and maybe even the 10K, taking goo and Gatorade is going to help. It's not critical. I mean, for the half marathon, it's really, really important. But the 5K, you know, is a much shorter race. You could get away without the goo, especially if you haven't practiced with it. But, you know, it will help. I mean, there's no question that putting some extra energy in there is going to give you a boost and you'll feel better. So that's kind of a question, you know, have those 5K runners been practicing with that? The most important thing for everybody is hydration. And so, you know, even just water is great for hydration. In the 5K, water's plenty. In the 10K, it wouldn't hurt to drink some of the Gatorade. Gatorade not only has hydration, but it has calories and it has electrolytes. And that's all really good, you know, as the run gets longer. So 10K should drink it. Half marathoners have to. They really, really should drink the Gatorade because it's the easiest way to get in some energy. You know, you don't have to chew, you don't have to digest. It just goes right down. So now, as far as how often to take it, you know, it just kind of depends. Mostly it depends on how everybody's been practicing with it. Obviously, the main thing is we don't want to disrupt the stomach in any way. You know, there are people that say, and I don't know if it's exactly true, but they've said that no, they can't drink Gatorade. They're allergic to it, or it bothers their stomach, or whatever. What I like to say is, you know, during the season, we train our legs, we train our brain. We also have to train our stomach. And the way to do that is, you know, you drink a little bit of Gatorade the first time out, and then a little bit more the next time, and a little bit more, and you just get used to it. In most races today, they are going to they're going to hand you Gatorade. Most races have Gatorade. So if you like something else, people do like some other kinds of drinks, but if the race isn't serving it, then you got to carry your own, I guess, which isn't as convenient. So, so from there, you know, a half marathon, 13 miles, I would say, you know, 369, drink Gatorade. But you know, again, it's not always exactly that way where you're going to hit it. But I would say 3 times, you know, up to about mile 10. You don't probably need it after that. I don't know. Does that work, Bob, as far as mileage? I don't know what miles. The first one is mile 2 or for the half.
As far as the 8 stations, yeah. So the last one will be for the half marathon. It'll be just under 2 miles to the finish.
Okay, so
but actually, they're going to go past the start finish of the 10K, 5K, and we certainly will have water and Gatorade and you know, there too, which that's like, you know, that's 0.8 miles from the finish too. If they need one last little thing, that's available to them there too.
Right. So, you know, you could easily, half marathons could easily take in Gatorade, you know, 2 or 3 times, and that'll help a lot. But again, the race day shouldn't be the first time you've ever tried that.
Right.
Again, practice it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You know? So you'll know for race day that you know how your stomach will react, and you know. Now, as far as goos go, you know, when you take a goo, you don't want to wash it down with Gatorade. That's too much sugar. So you'd want to wash that down with water.
That's what I learned from you, Gary. Yeah. Wash it down with water, and definitely wash it down. Doesn't the act of having water with the goo make it absorb nicer or better into your system?
It will. And again, it's, you know, Gatorade on top of goo is all sugar, and it doesn't go down very well and could give you stomach issues.
Yeah.
So you wash down the goo with a bunch of water, and you know, so you just want to plan that out. All right, I'm going to take a goo here, and drink the water. The next aid station, you're not going to take a goose, so you can drink Gatorade, and just kind of work that out.
That is a really good plan. I've done that, Gary, alternating from when you have the different aid stations where it'll be water at one, Gatorade at the next. That's not about that kind of worked for me. Because you don't like to take too much of the sugar and overload, stress your stomach that much. That's a good suggestion. Worked for me very well.
I think that if anybody has any questions about that, then ask them specifically. But one other thing I want to mention, and I want to mention it because I don't think we've talked about it a lot this season. You might want to practice this tomorrow, and that's taking caffeine. Caffeine is absolutely a performance enhancer. There's no doubt that it really perks you up and gives you more energy. Lots of studies have been done on it. Again, I wouldn't take caffeine on race day and having never done that before, but I know lots of people that will wake up and drink a cup of coffee. You want to time that though, because it takes about 45 minutes, give or take, for the caffeine to peak in your system. And so, if you wanted that surge at the start of the race, you'd want to drink it, 45 minutes before, half hour, 45 minutes. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I actually take like No Dose, Stay Awake, those different, a tablet it's a lot. It's 200 milligrams of caffeine in one of those tablets. A lot more than most coffees are. But I've been doing it for years. I know it works on my stomach. I actually, in a marathon, I'll take one, early, and then one I'll have, and this is something I haven't done well. I'll take it at about mile 20 in the marathon, but if it's going to take half hour, 45 minutes before it kicks in, it's like useless. I'm almost done by then. So I really should be taking it more like, 15, maybe halfway or 15 miles. So again, it's something to practice, but it's definitely something that if you're serious about your running and wanting to run faster, caffeine will help you with that.
And I am a caffeine proponent also, but the way I take it is they do have goos that have caffeine in it, and that's because I've had a bad experience with the No Dose in my stomach.
I understand.
So everybody is different, but I guess it's a little smaller amount that's in the goo, but then it's a gradual, and you take it during your run. So guys, if you need to practice, if you haven't already, it's probably, you shouldn't. But if you have been, do a little more practicing with it tomorrow on tomorrow's run. Would be great. Gary, you're going to be there at Alameda?
Yep.
Outstanding. Great. Now, Vic, we got any comments other than hi, hello? No specific questions, Gary. I'm surprised. Even during the whole thing, there's some stuff, but it's not showing up on our stream here. But it's mostly hi. How are you?
I probably put everybody to sleep, so that's why.
No. Through the whole show, I'm surprised, but they're very shy. So, any last words, Coach? And then we're going to get to Vicky, and I will just talk about. Oh, if you want to stay on the stream, I'll talk about the race right now. Okay. So put me up there. So what we're going to do on the race, guys, here, I wrote it down. And this will be in the newsletter. We're going to put that out. Number 1, packet pickup will be next Saturday. And we're all going to meet. It's your short run. It's your back off week. It just makes it easy for us to distribute things. We're going to meet at Los Poblanos. Open space. Okay. It's perfect for the 5K and the 10K. Just do a loop. The longest run, I think, is 8 miles, but we know the path to get out to the Bosque Trail, so they can go out and do that. But at least we can get you your packets. Please pick it up if you can't that day. Let us know. We'll make arrangements to get it for you, get it to you. That'll have your bib. Now, that's the most, believe it or not, we had a couple of people in the last race, very few, that didn't wear their bib. We need you to wear your bib. It helps us because we are timing you guys, but we need to see what your number is. And your name, Vicky's also putting your name, the race distance you're at, so we can identify it for our timing officials at the different start finishes. So your bib, that's, if anything, that's the most important thing you're going to get in your packet. So right, what
Right.
else? What else, Vic, on the bib? Oh, here we go. So as far as where the races are, okay. So half marathon. The start time we have projected for now, what we're planning on is 7:15. This is May 8th now, guys, not next week. All right. May 8th, 7:15. And it'll be at Kit Carson. We're actually going to start the way I have the trail measured out. We're going to start right at that where when we cross over by the railroad tracks. I'll start it. Now we have for the half marathon, we have 4 waves. Okay, broke it out into 4 waves to keep with our social distancing, and I broke out most of you guys, so you're going to be familiar faces, mostly around in your pace group, with a few new faces there. But other than that, so show up. I would suggest showing up at least, a few minutes early, especially if you want to use the bathroom, because we're going to put a porta potty. We can't put it in Kit Carson, but we can put it on that Tingley Drive. So it'll be, you'll just have to walk a little ways down. So if you get there early, it'll be where they've put it for the Duke City Marathon in the past. On Tingley Drive, you can use the porta potty and then walk back up to the start time. But we'll. I was thinking, Gary, we'd split the waves by like at least give it a minute or 2. We'll send one group off. We'll just wait a minute, send the next one off. There's 4 of them. Okay, but it'll be fluid. But don't worry, your time won't start until you start past the finish line. We'll start your time then. So and not to worry. Now the other 2 races, the 5 and 10K. If you travel along that Tingley Drive, right to where it makes a bend, right before the bridge where the Sonic is. That's Bridge, actually. That's called Bridge, that road. Right before there is a parking lot, and that's where we're going to set up our start finish for the 10K and the 5K, and that's where I measured the races from. So we'll set up a table there. We'll set up the timing people there. Now for you guys, for the 10 and 5K, I'll give you the start times in a second, but you'll park along that Tingley Drive. You don't all have to fit in that one space. I want that reserved for our volunteers and our race officials, timing officials, so that they can put out a cooler with the water and chocolate milk and that's for after, and Gatorade and your goose. But there's plenty of parking along there, along Tingley Drive itself, where you can just pull your car in. Okay. Now, the 10K they will start at 7:30. Okay. And that's the plans. Now we'll be a little flexible, but let's go with 7:30, guys. And we will put this all in the newsletter in the next 2 weeks. 3 waves. 3, that's what it worked out for the 10K, 3 waves. And then 15 minutes later, which will be 7:45, we'll start the 5K. And we only have 2 waves in the 5K, so that'll be good. And again, for our timing officials, we'll have the number, what did you do? You color coded the
Yeah, all the race distances are color coded.
yeah, so
Please don't ask me to remember what they are right at this moment.
But at least our officials and our spotters can see you from a distance as you start coming back toward the finish line, so we can be accurate with getting your stop time, your finish time. But it'll identify you as you're either on the 5K in the 5K race or the 10K race. With the half marathon, that's not much of an issue because you guys got to go further back to Kit Carson. So your start and finish will always be at the same spot for no matter what race. Now, as soon as you cross the finish line, we'll have volunteers hand you your finishing medals. Okay. So, and then you can hydrate again. We'll have some refreshments there for you. We don't want to encourage you guys to stick around too long, but just be cognizant of that. But however, if you're in the running for a medal, a trophy, those will be given out at Kit Carson. And again, Kit Carson's just up the road. Then just and we can give you a good idea when you finish. Obviously, if you're first, second, or third, male or female in your race. Okay, and then we'll hand the awards out at Kit Carson because we don't want to put big groups of people right there on Tingley Road at all. So Kit Carson got the trees. We're a little more hidden there. That'll be a little better. Let's see, what else do we got? Okay, go ahead, Gary.
So I'm just thinking, as you were talking about start times, the half marathoners are going to start at 7:15, and then after that for the waves, are they going to run into the start of the 10K?
That's why I'm saying we'll be a little flexible, and we can look at that. If it is running, we'll just delay the 10K until the last wave of the half marathon goes out, because it never goes 100% to plan. The one thing we can do is get there. We know that what their start time is, but if that happens, we'll just delay the start of the races after that to make sure. And since we're so close, Gary, I'll have radios. We'll talk to each other and we'll say, okay, we'll hold up. At the aid stations, guys. We're having our volunteer meeting this weekend. So we're going to try it like last year. We have no contact, where they'll put the water and the Gatorade in cups for you, where you'll just pick it up when you're done. Just throw it. We'll clean up after that. But they'll pour it out and they'll have gloves and whatever. They'll keep that area clean, but only you pick it up. And so that'll be no contact. Same with the goos. They're in individual packs anyway. You just grab it and go. Okay, so as much as possible. But we'll have that meeting with our volunteers. But that's the plan as far as for you guys to remain safe while you're going past the aid stations. What else do you have, Vic? Okay. Listen, all of this stuff we will write and put in next week's newsletter. And Gary, what I was planning to do was I don't want to keep the day before the race. I don't know. We could talk about it if we should. Maybe we even do it on a Thursday night. I don't know. Just have one more coaches thing, but it'll just be the coaches. If you want to talk to your racers the night before, but we'll keep it really short. We'll talk about that if that's a good idea. But we won't have sponsors. We don't want to keep you guys up. Although you should be getting your best rest night sleep on the Thursday night would actually be good, because you're usually nervous on a Friday night. It's hard to get a good night's sleep. But maybe hearing your coach's voice, and we'll have all the coaches on so that they can talk individually to their, and we'll encourage you guys to, if you last minute questions that you have, ask your coaches then. That won't wait. Is that next Friday? No, that's
The following Friday.
Oh no, it's the following Friday. Wow, we can have it next Friday. I'll talk to you, Gary, whichever you think is better, because next Friday is actually before packet pickup. I'm getting my dates mixed up here.
Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight. Right?
Yeah, it'd be 2 weeks from tonight. So we'll talk about that, but we will not have any more sponsor we for the season. So we want you guys to concentrate on your race coming up if you're involved in it. And to all the volunteers, thank you so much for volunteering. You guys, we couldn't do it without you. And one last thing, Gary and the coaches, the week after that, I'm going to have a Zoom meeting for the coaches and the pacers in preparation for the startup of the summer session, which we plan to do on May 20. What was the date? May 29th. What?
Oh,
The start of the season, May 29th. So we're planning on opening registration. Vicky's got to do some stuff on the website. First week of May, we're planning to open registration. I want to get together with the coaches and we'll do our planning. I still haven't heard back from Bert, but I know the date that he said on his website is October 17th for Duke City Marathon. So so if you're paying attention, coaches and pacers, that's when we're going to have our meeting will be on May 15th, right? Did I get that right? And we'll be planning for that. Other than that, what else did we have? Anything I'm missing?
I think that's it.
Okay, porta potty. I went there. Finishers medal, packet pickup, locations, registration, opening, and Keith, please read your newsletter, guys. Gary, you probably had this problem all the time. They just forget, and then sometimes they say, "I didn't get it," but we can look. We find out it went to your junk mail, or you opened it and you forgot you opened it. Just please, there's chock full of information, especially where to meet. What time to meet, but okay, guys, so that's about it. Gary, you got any other last comments?
No, just everybody have a great run tomorrow.
Have a great run tomorrow. Gary and I and Vicky will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Albuquerque Fit, this is us at Friday Night Live. Thank you so much. Go to those, roll those credits, Vicky.
If ever I had a video,
Halfway, Debbie. Good job.
would you dance?
Way to go. Doing great.
Oh, sunshine,
Yes.
you are my sunshine.